It's Matt Slick. Is the founder and president of the Christian Apologetics Research Ministry, found online at CARM.org. When you have questions about Bible doctrines, turn to Matt Slick Live for answers. Taking your calls and responding to your questions at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick. All right, everyone, welcome to the show. Hope you're going to have a good time listening. Hopefully, it'll be a nice show. We'll just see. We pray each day before the show. We pray right before it for the blessing of God upon it. And hey, we'll see. So there you go. If you want to give me a call, all you got to do is dial 877-207-2276, and we can talk. We've got 3 open lines right now, 877-207-2276. All right. Wow. And hold on a sec. Clear my throat there. If you want to watch us and participate in a nice chat, we're on Twitter, or I guess you could say X. And I think we're being broadcast on some other stuff, Facebook, but also rumble.com/Matt Slick Live. You can get in and join us with the chat people. It's fun. We have jokes and we have a good time. So just feel free to join us. And that's it. See how easy that is? All right. Let's just jump on the air. Let's get to John from Raleigh, North Carolina. John, welcome. You're on the air.
Thank you, Matt. Nice talking to you last night.
Oh, that John. Okay.
On my way to on my way to Charlotte today, I was listening to Acts, and in 8, the last paragraph there with Philip and the eunuch.
Yeah.
Is that an example of teleportation?
Yes. Yep.
I just never, listening to the Bible seems to be catching a lot more. I never put 2 and 2 together before.
Yeah, you could tell, I don't know if it was Star Trek style, but it was a miracle, and there he was. He was moved. That's what it was. Okay. And the Lord snatched Philip away, and the eunuch no longer saw him. That's what it says.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little surprising, but that's what it is. That's what it says. So that's what I believe. So there you go. Okay.
Very simple.
Yeah. That's what it says right out of Acts 8:39. I remember reading that too when I first saw it. I'm like, what? What's this? But that's what it says. So he's caught up. He was transported. Okay. There.
Next. Yeah. On with Saul. Okay. Thank you. Have a great day, and I'll listen on the air.
All right, man. Thanks. Okay. God bless.
Thank you.
All right.
God bless.
Okay. All right. Now let's get over to Rudolph from Raleigh, North Carolina. Rudolph, welcome. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. The reason why I'm going to ask the reason for people need to get this question wrong about the way they think about tribulation.
Okay.
So they always like wrath versus tribulation. So my question is, what is the difference between tribulation and wrath?
Tribulation and what?
Wrath.
Well, it depends on the context. All right. So, if I do it, oh man, what was that? That was interesting. It's a keyboard. That's something interesting came up. So the word wrath here, like for the wrath of God is revealed against heaven, from heaven, against all people. And that's orge. Well, that word orge, let me go and I'll show you here. It's 3709 in the Greek concordance. And it occurs 38 times. So it just has different meanings. So for the wrath of God is revealed, I just told you about that. But the law brings about wrath. It brings about judgment. And so God, although willing to demonstrate his wrath and make his power known, endured with much patience vessels of wrath prepared for destruction. So, and then I think, let's see, after looking around at them with anger. And so that's Jesus having anger towards them. And that's Mark 3:5. And that word anger is wrath. So you root of vipers who warned you to flee from the wrath to come. The wrath, let's see. So the wrath of God, wrath and revelation, wrath and indignation inflicts wrath. So it just as just it has different meanings. So one of the things that sometimes the pre-tribbers will say is, I'll go to 1 Thessalonians 5:9. God has not destined us for wrath, but for obtaining salvation. And so the tribulation period is the wrath of God. But is it? And furthermore, it says wrath, not for wrath, but for salvation. So it's juxtaposed. So wrath there is damnation or judgment, not salvation. So you can't use that verse for pre-trib rapture stuff. Okay?
Okay.
Simple. Okay?
Thank you very much. Because they love to bring that up a lot.
What's that?
They love to bring up he did destinate us for wrath. But like I said, tribulation is different than wrath. It's not the same thing.
Right, it's not the same thing. It's just a misapplication of scripture, like we talked about. I think it was Jeremiah 29:11, where I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for calamity, to give you future and hope. Well, that was for Israel. That was in bondage and exile. And people say, well, that means us. That wasn't directed towards us. And so, like this verse in 1 Thessalonians 5:9, the issue here is, for God has not destined us for wrath, but for obtaining salvation. And so the wrath is not tribulation, pre-tribulation stuff. It's not tribulation stuff. Okay. And the word for tribulation is thlipsis, and this is orge. So there's just some problems there, all right, with that position. I generally tell people, don't use that verse for that, because it doesn't work like that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Hey, you're welcome.
God bless.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. All right. Sounds good, buddy. Hey, if you want to give me a call, 4 open lines, 877-207-2276. Let's get to Elijah from Pennsylvania. Elijah, welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing okay. A little tired, though. But that happens. I have trouble sleeping. That's my thing. I just always have trouble. But that's, what are you going to do? So what do you got, man?
You don't have narcolepsy, do you?
Oh, no. I've always had this problem since I was, I remember back in high school. My mind is just too active. And I would just be in bed for 2 hours before I go to sleep. And so I'll wake up in the middle of the night and after 6 hours, and then I'm not quite rested. It happens. And when you get older, here that happens a little bit more, and that's just what it is. So that's just what it is. I'm still around kicking. Okay. So what do you got, man?
All right. Yeah. I got into contact with Aaron Ra about 30 minutes ago in the comment section of one of his recent videos, and he said that he's interested to talk with you. He said to me, let's pick a day and hour. I'm hosting a show this upcoming Wednesday evening, but am otherwise open. So
talk about
he's saying
to talk about what?
Phylogeny, evolution, gender creationism.
I'm not prepped for that, and I'm buried at the moment, so it's going to have to take a bit. And I got to prep for us. I have to speak in Philadelphia. I got to teach a Bible study tomorrow night, and I got the other stuff I'm doing, which is just normal stuff, and I'm buried. But I can start prepping up on phylogeny. If you can tell me, if you want to debate whatever his debate topic is, phylogeny, and you can send me some videos, not just the 8-hour videos, but this is where he talks about phylogeny, what his points are, then I can focus on that. I can see what he's saying.
Okay.
All right. Because
all right.
I just have, so much that I'm working on. That's all. And I can do it. It's just I'd have to stop everything else, mostly, for things like that. That's why I really don't do debates like that anymore, because I have to prep them so much. I just do discussions. I try and just have discussions with people. People want formal debates, but it just takes a lot of prep work. And they don't realize that I don't have the time that they have. I have to run an entire ministry, take care of the household and the issues with my wife who's ill, and other things, and it gets pretty demanding. And so that's why I don't do these formal ones as much. I can, but if I want to know, if he were to say exactly what the debate title is, because the debate phylogeny, well, okay, ontology recapitulates phylogeny. That's a general phrase. But what does he want to debate about phylogeny? That's the question. What is it?
Did I say debate? I meant to say discussion, because he's okay with just having a free flowing discussion about it. It doesn't have to be a debate.
Oh, well, then I'd have to see what he says about it. So I have to research, which means I have to get videos on him and just see what he says about it, so I know what he's saying. Because I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, I know what phylogeny is, all right, but I just, what's he saying about it? That's all. Okay, I need more info. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm about to send you a video that he made years ago called the phylogeny challenge, and like on the video he just asks creationists a series of questions. So I guess you can just prepare about how you would answer those questions.
Sure, whatever. Send it to me, okay? And we'll see. I mean, tomorrow I spend most of my time working the Bible study for Thursday night. And then I got to start prepping for the debate. Not debate, but for the presentation I have to do in Philadelphia. So I have to do PowerPoint slides. Takes a lot of work, and I'm working on some other projects as well. And I'm starting a new research project. So, okay, but send it to me. All right. Okay, man.
All right, no problem.
All right. Okay. Sounds good. All right, man. God bless. All right. Hey, folks, we have 5 open lines. If you want to give me a call, nobody's waiting. 877-207-2276. And if you want, you can email me a question or a comment. Just email it to info@carm.org, CARM.org. And I'd like to win right now. Radio show question. How is the 7-year tribulation arrived at in Scripture? Out of Daniel, which talks about 7 years, and then they say that 7-year period is going to start after the rapture, and that's what they do. The rapture does occur, and that's, they put 2 and 2 together, and they do that. There's a lot of things that connect in that, but that's what they do. Okay, that's how they do that. Basically, I'd like to see some more details on that. I've read stuff on pre-tribulation rapture. And, if you believe in it, that's okay. It's all right. I'm just not convinced of it. And when I see the arguments that they use, I don't find them very strong. Like the church isn't mentioned in Revelation after like chapter 3 or 4, something like that. You say, see, but yes, it is mentioned. And I show them where. Way later it's mentioned. And, just stuff like that. I'm just not, I don't see it. I hope it's true, though. I don't want to go through everything. I don't want to. I don't like pain. It hurts too much. Hey, we have 4 open lines. If you want to give me a call, 877-207-2276. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
There are places with people in this world that are without any hope. That is, until Mercy Ships arrives. Mercy Ships is a place restoring sight to the blind, healing to the deformed, acceptance and help to the outcast, and love to the brokenhearted.
And many times you can almost see the life coming back into them. Can't beat that.
Mercy Ships is the largest floating civilian hospital in the world, staffed with some of the most skilled volunteer medical professionals and crew. Mercy Ships brings hope, healing, and love to the lost and forgotten in the world. To learn more, go to mercyships.org today.
Remember that game you used to love?
Kerplunk.
Kerplunk.
Yes.
This is Real Family Life with Dave and Ann Wilson.
Remember at the top it had all those marbles and then it had those sticks going through to keep the marbles from falling into the bottom. And I've related to that over the years spiritually, which sounds weird. But when you read scripture and it talks about God rejoicing over us with singing, I knew that in my head. I just couldn't get it to drop into my heart.
Let's get real. Ask God to remove those sticks, remove those wounds, remove those false beliefs, and pour out his love into you even today, even right now.
We're Ann and Dave Wilson, and that's Real Family Life. Kerplunk.
Get more at familylife.com/real.
You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken.
The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. The righteous person may have many troubles, but God is there every time. Your truth for today.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. And in 09, it was sparks from me, your chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show, or welcome back, I should say. Hey, I want to say thanks to Soccer Fanatic 7 for the $10 rant you gave. Hey, appreciate that. And that reminds me, folks, if you want, you can join us on rumble.com. It doesn't cost anything. You can go in there and chat with us and see the video and interact with the people that are there. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. And just go to rumble.com/Matt Slick Live, all one word, and you can check that out. It's a lot of fun. All right, Jesse from Michigan, welcome. You're on the air.
Hi, I'm nervous, but I wanted to ask you about fraternities and sororities at colleges.
Okay. What about them?
Well, I saw videos about them, and like they do rituals, and each one of them it's like a Greek false god. Do you know anything about that? And it just seems like a lot of kids are getting involved in these things, and maybe it should be talked about more.
Yeah, here's the thing. So a Christian can and also cannot join. Okay, you're breathing into the microphone a lot. You're breathing into the phone there. Okay. And so it depends on the sorority, fraternity, and what they require. If they require secret oaths and secret rituals, that's a problem. It is. And if they have any of these ceremonies where anything pagan is to be done, it could be quite varied, then a Christian can't participate in it. And they can't have any oaths that are contrary to Scripture or any ceremonies that would be contrary to Scripture. Like getting half naked, running around or something like that. Stealing a mascot, a theft, things like this. That would be, Christians can't do that. Now, there are, on the other hand, certain levels of fun. And, if they were to just promise to be faithful to them and help each other out, and nothing's unbiblical, then, they could do that. That's not a problem. And so another thing is, what's the reason that they're joining a fraternity? Is it for social status, or is it for mutual help, or what? And so the motives have to be examined as well. And as long as it doesn't promote any ungodliness or anything like that, then I don't have a problem with it. But So we've got to be careful if they want secret oaths and secret ceremonies or whatever it is, anything ungodly, and you just have to see instances of it to check. Okay.
Okay. Okay, I appreciate it.
All right. So there's a yes and no to it. I don't want to just give a blanket no they can't or yes they can, because sororities and fraternities are so different. And what if you have a Christian college and where everybody there is good and they're following the Lord and they want to have a fraternity? Well, I don't see a problem with that, and they just commit to being a member and to support the building or whatever it is, and to not bring girls over, without approval of this or that, and they promise to do that. Well, no problem. So it just depends, Okay.
Okay. I didn't know there was any good fraternities or sororities. I thought they were all pagan.
I don't know.
And so, I mean, I don't know that for sure. That's why I'm asking. It just seems like kind of a big deal.
Well, I don't know if they're all pagan. I would tend to think that the great majority of them would be. But I just can't say that all of them are. You might have a fraternity of some sort that's a Christian-based one on a campus someplace. So I just can't say a blanket statement. But I have to look at what's going on with them and be wary. So if I was went to college again, we didn't have a fraternity or sorority on the campus. It was a Christian college. So okay, but if they did, I'd look into it and see what it's about, but I'm not a follower, so I don't know if I would have done it. Like I got things to do. A lot of people need that. I don't need all that fraternity stuff. I'm too busy. So okay, all right.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right. Okay. Well, God bless. Okay.
Okay. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks. Hey, if you want to give me a call, 877-207-2276. Let's get to Luke from Washington. Luke, what do you want to discuss?
Hi.
Okay. You're breaking up. You're breaking. Okay, Luke, you're breaking up. Okay. You're breaking up. Try it again. Okay. So you're breaking up, Luke. Okay. So this happens a lot. This happens a lot when you call. You've got to get to. I can't hear you. You have to get to a place where the connection's better. Okay. Hold on. You need to get to a place where the connection is better when you call. All right. Maybe it's because there's so much pollution in Washington, D.C. and so many levels that the truth can't get out. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Matt, can you hear me?
Yes. Now I can hear you. Okay. Let's try it one more time. Go ahead.
What does John 3:16 say about limited atonement?
Nothing. It doesn't say anything about limited atonement. Okay. Or universal atonement. Doesn't speak about it.
Talking about universal atonement?
It just doesn't speak of the one. It just says that God gave his son. That's all it says. Doesn't say to the extent, the legality of it, like Colossians 2:14 does. Okay, it doesn't talk about that. All right, so it's not an issue. It's not a challenge at all to either position. Okay.
Because they use John 3:16 cited against the Calvinist doctrine of limited atonement.
Yeah, I know. But it's not a good verse to use. It just isn't. See, the problem is I'm finding out more and more that the people who are critics of Reformed theology and many things just aren't very logical. Excuse me. They don't think very critically. And I'm not trying to be mean, but when you go to a verse like John 3:16, it says God loved the world, that he gave his only begotten son. Well, then they say that proves that Jesus died for everybody. And I'll say, where does it say that there? Well, it says he loved the world. Okay, what's the word world mean? Does it mean the planet? Does it mean just individuals? Does it mean all the nation groups? What does it mean? And they don't want to have that discussion, because what they do is they just assume their narrow view is the only one possible. And then we get into these discussions. I've had this discussion on John 3:16 with people countless times. And it takes 20 minutes sometimes just for them to understand that the word world doesn't necessarily mean what they say. It might be, I try and get them to think. They're not thinking. See, it might mean every individual. It might not mean every individual. It might mean the entire planet. It might mean all the nation groups, not just Israel. And see, you have to be able to tell us which one it is from the context. And it says he gave his only begotten son, right? Okay, we know that one, that whoever believes, but it doesn't say whoever believes in the Greek. It says pas apostouon, all the believing one. It doesn't say whoever. All, so it's like saying all that believe. Then I could ask them, how is it that they believe? But God grants that they believe, Philippians 1:29. So you see, they're not open to critical analysis. Hold on, we got a break. Hey, folks, I'll be right back after these messages. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We live in an on-demand world. Time, weather, meals, and content. That's why the Truth Network has the Truth Podcast Network. Some of your favorite Truth Network programs, plus some that are podcast only. Rich content that is rich in the Word.
Truth for a New Generation with Alex McFarland podcast is content for all generations of Christians. Alex is an apologetics author and speaker. Alex's greatest passion is fueling any Christian's faith and giving all the stuff needed to do the same. Truth for a New Generation podcast at truthnetwork.com.
May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Because the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And that is the voice of truth.
Okay, I'll be right there, guys. Hey, oh, Dad, come on in. I thought you were the radon test guys.
The who test guys?
Didn't you see the paper Sunday? The Surgeon General issued another warning.
Oh, like the cigarette warning?
Exactly. Only now they're saying radon causes lung cancer. For non-smokers like us, radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer.
You're kidding me, right? I have a smoke-free home and my family can still get cancer from radon?
Yep. That's why the Surgeon General says every home should be tested for radon.
But I don't smell any radon in my house.
No, nobody can smell radon. It's odorless, colorless, and tasteless. It just comes up from underground and seeps into your house.
Oh, great.
No, hey, it's no big deal. Even if they find high levels of radon, it can easily be fixed. My brother just had his house fixed. Now that's the radon test guys.
So how did you find them?
First, you go to the EPA website.
Learn more. Visit the EPA at epa.gov/radon. That's epa.gov/radon.
Mommy, I'll get it.
Oh, I'll be right there.
Me too.
The mission of Paralyzed Veterans of America is clear: accessibility. Veterans who have served and sacrificed the best of themselves deserve access to the best our country has to offer. Access to meaningful employment. Access to the veterans' benefits they've earned. Accessible homes and vehicles. And access to every part of their communities. With PVA staff working inside VA hospitals, no other veterans organization has provided more real-time, ongoing support for paralyzed veterans and their families. PVA is proud to serve veterans across all branches, all generations, and all conflicts. Our nation's heroes fought for your independence. Join PVA in fighting for them.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
All right, welcome back to the show. Hey, if you want to give me a call, 4 open lines, 877-207-2276. I want to hear from you. Give me a call. Let's get back to Luke. You still there?
Yes, I'm still there.
All right, man. So, okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. The reason I asked this question, because we have a 5.5 hours of Clubhouse. We just finished to the non-Calvinists. They're asking the same question. John 3:16
Okay.
limits atonement.
Okay.
No, it's for universal atonement. This is the same question people come and ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's what,
Look, I got to say this again, and this is important, but they're not they're not performing critical thinking. A great many people fail to do that. And I was talking to a guy last night at midnight. Someone called me from the East Coast, and there was this guy who was a member of a cult. And World Church Mission of God out of Korea. What was it? World Mission Church of United. Anyway, and he said that that their Messiah, Jesus, returned by being born. I can't even pronounce the guy's name, as a Korean guy, South Korean guy, in 1918. That's his second coming. And I said, well, let's go to Acts 1:9-11, where it says how the second coming will be. That it'll be in the clouds. That's how he's going to come back. I said, how's that fulfilled in 1918 by being born? And the guy couldn't answer the question. It just obviously proved him wrong. And he refused to believe it. And what he did was he just simply, how do I put this? Submitted the word of God to his false thinking. And everything had to be interpreted in light of that. And I had to say the same thing over to him over and same thing to him over and over and over and over again. You know, Acts 1:9-11 says this. And he kept interrupting. He kept being rude. Anyway, I'm just saying this is a very typical thing, and it's probably going to be the same thing there. Because if I'm in that room and I say, well, John 3:16, let's look at it, and I show them and I ask them questions, then what they'll probably do is I'll want to jump in at once, and I can't handle that because of my autism. So I just say, look, one at a time, and we'll discuss it. And if I say, can you show me from the context that it means every individual who ever lived, for example? And they can't because it's not there. And so they'll say, well, it is. I'll show it to me. And then they get upset. And then I hold their feet to the fire and say, it's not there. You have to, I say, there's possibilities. That's one of the possibilities it could be interpreted as, but it doesn't necessitate that that's the right one. And if you want to argue something, you need proof, not an opinion. And so people just don't know how to think through these things very well. All right. And that's the problem. That's a problem we're going to face. Okay.
thank you, man. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, good. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So we'll see if we can arrange it next week or something like that. Okay.
I sent an email to you about a Reformed Apologetics, our room. You need to come whenever you are free, and you can send emails to Joanne, through Joanne or somebody else. So I will inform.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes, I saw it. And so, yeah, but it just has black squares, and that's all it is. So with a little bit of words, but yeah, okay.
And can you follow that room? Can you please follow that Reformed Apologetics room that we created? That is the. Please follow everyone who listens to us. Please follow us.
Okay, is it a house or a room?
We have a room, and also there's a club deck. This is a house, club deck house or clubhouse.
Okay.
The house.
Okay, I'll check it out. Okay, we'll look for it. All right, brother. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, man. Sounds good. All right, good. And there it is, and I just joined it. Okay, so there you go. All right. Hey, we have 5 open lines. I have nobody waiting. If you want to give me a call, all you got to do is dial 877-207-2276. So what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is something called Clubhouse. And it is, I don't know how many members it has. I wonder how many people use. I'm curious now. Let's see. How many people use Clubhouse? And 10 million. Okay, 10 million people are on it. So it's a chat system by voice, and it's pretty good. And there's lots of rooms, and you can create a room. Anybody can create a room and discuss anything. And then they have what's called houses, and inside the houses are rooms. So a house is a bigger, overall topic. It might be like apologetics, and you might have sub rooms in it. But it's not hard to find this stuff. You just go into a search area and you just say, you just type in what you want to look for, and then it finds all the rooms open and just shows them to you. and you can click one and say, join, you're in. That's it. You see the microphone. And so a lot of people talk in there, and I've been on it for, I guess, a couple of years now. So, like I have things filtered down to Christianity and stuff like that. No monologue religious discussion room, Bible study reading Exodus chapter 1, open discussions. How is the Israel Jews a light to the Gentiles? Let's see. Just does the so-called IOG Israel of God mean false? Yeah. And so you have all kinds of topics. And if you type in the word Christian, you'll find Christian. If you type in Matt Slick, you'll find Matt Slick, and stuff like that. That's all it is. So people come in there and they meet from all over the world, and then they talk and they raise objections. They teach, argue, the whole bit. And that's just what happens. And I like to be in those rooms, and I also do it inside of Discord. The reason is because more people can get in and hear. And that's what I'm looking for. So we can get 200 people in the rooms. I can do it in Discord as well, and I'll simulcast it to both. Where I want people to interact with these issues. It's a form of teaching. So what he's talking about is the people from India. Now, India has some problems, and it's been infected by some pretty bad Christian theology. Not that they don't believe in Reformed theology. It's just other areas that it's pretty bad. Positive confession and some wackos and some other stuff like that. So anyway, that's it. It's not a big deal, and that's what he's talking about for those who just don't know. He calls and does that. All right. Let's see. Let's get to Eddie from South Carolina. Eddie, welcome. What do you got, man? You're on the air.
Hey. Well, thanks for taking my call. It centers around why John the Baptist wore the clothes he did. And I know it relates back to 2 Kings 1:8, which Elijah wore those clothes. And so I'm just curious, because the Israelites were expecting Elijah before the day of the Lord. And I've always wondered, was that the presence of John the Baptist?
Yes. Because Jesus says in Matthew 11:14, if you're willing to accept it, John himself is Elijah who was to come. Now, this is not reincarnation. Some people have used this as a reincarnation verse, and it's not that. Now, remember, his father, Zacharias, he was a temple worker. So here's a theory, just a theory. We can't prove it true, can't prove it false. It's just a theory. It's non-falsifiable. And one of the theories is that if Elijah had that camel's hair mantle, and if he disappeared, if the camel's hair mantle was left, because of the power that Elijah had, it was probable that he would have kept that mantle, and he would have kept it in the temple someplace. Zechariah, John's father, was a temple worker. He may have had access to that very camel's hair mantle and gave it to John. That's a possibility. I'm not saying it did happen. I'm just saying it's within the realm of possibility. Or it could be that John just made a camel's hair garment of some sort. And I've ridden camels, and it's not the most comfortable. It's not the most comfortable fur. It's not like,
Right. Yeah.
It's not. And so he came in the spirit of Elijah. Okay. And that's what's going on. Okay.
Well, Matt, would it play into that he was taken up by the Lord and never really had a physical death?
Elijah, right.
Does that play into him? Yeah, Elijah. And then also, I guess, the Jews still leave a spot, right, at Passover for Elijah.
Yep.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And there's just a little bit more, just tidbit of information. The two witnesses that are in Revelation. One commentator, have said maybe it's Elijah and Enoch, because both of them were taken up, didn't die. And maybe that's when they're going to die. They'll come back and they'll die. Just a thought. We don't know if it's true or not. So
yeah, but we never found Moses, did we?
No, we did not. And they didn't either. But so those are just bits of info. Okay, buddy? got a break coming up. All right, man. God bless.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Eddie. We have wide open lines. If you want to give me a call, 877-207-2276. We'll be right back.
It started off as a normal day. I felt fine when I arrived at the plant.
Ruth Junius's life was about to change.
Then I dropped my keys. They kept slipping out of my hand. My arm felt numb. A coworker asked me if I was okay, and I couldn't speak. I started to get scared.
Ruth was having a stroke. People around her weren't sure what to do.
They thought I should go home or lie down, but I knew something was very wrong. I wrote 911 on a piece of paper with my other hand, and someone called for me.
Because everyone acted quickly, doctors at the hospital were able to give Ruth treatment that started to reverse the symptoms.
Within a few minutes, I was talking again. I didn't know a thing about stroke before I had one. Now I make sure that my friends and family know all the signs of stroke so they'll get help fast if they need it.
No stroke. Know the signs. Act in time. Call 1-800-352-9424 for more information. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, National Institutes of Health.
Adopt U.S. Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
You know, honey, I think I deserve some kind of reward.
Here, have a pickle.
Thanks. After all, I did find us the perfect house.
Have another pickle.
Thank you.
But remember, then I found out how much our house was going to cost.
Yeah, but then I found us the perfect mortgage. Got any more of these?
Sure, help yourself. But then I found out our perfect house had radon. The stuff you can't see, smell, or taste. And it's radioactive. And it's the second leading cause of lung cancer. Some dream house.
Yeah.
I need two pickles.
True. But then I found a phone number to call 1-800-SOS-RADON, where you can get all the information you need to test and fix a home with a radon problem.
You did.
Yeah, and then I found out we were going to have a baby. So, you know, your study, it'd be a perfect room for my mother.
Right. Now I need a phone number to fix a home with a mother-in-law problem.
Hey.
I'm in a pickle. Did you say baby?
Do we have any ice cream?
Family from Radon. Make your home safer. Call 1-800-SOS-RADON. 1-800-SOS-RADON.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Force.
It's Matt Slick Live, taking your calls at 877-207-2276. Here's Matt Slick.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the show. If you want to give me a call, all you got to do is dial 877-207-2276. Let's get to John from Raleigh, North Carolina. John, welcome. You're on the air.
I'm back.
It's all right. So what do you got, man?
Not that I want to troll you or anything, but is there any way to find you on Discord or any of these things? Like when I've got a free time to just...
Yeah, you just mail a $20 bill with the, the request, and no problem. Or... I said, you just send a $20 bill with a request on how to find you. No, what you do is you go to CARM/social media. Okay. CARM/.
So not the calendar.
Yeah. And just try social media, social-media, I think it is. And it'll give you the list. There's a Discord, the Discord server's found there. I'm not there very often. I like to go to other places. And the reason I don't go to my own server very often is because once I'm in there, people come in, I have to stay and manage it. And I don't want to do that. I want to be able to leave at the right time. So my name is there as well. And Matt's like number 8539. And so you can search for me and you'll find me if I'm on. And I usually go into I usually go into the pagan areas. the unbelieving areas.
Right.
That's where I hang out most.
That's what I'm interested in hearing the conversation that goes there. So if I go to one of these sites, can somebody find you by your handle and see what room you're in?
Yeah. In fact, what I can do if I'm there, but yeah, I'm there not in any regular time though. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to do it this way.
That's the thing. Yeah.
So I'm going to type it. Actually, I go into the different servers. Also goes into I go into the politics and religion server at that address, and I also go into another one. And I'll just make them live here in the next few minutes so that you can check them out. But those are the ones I go into, and there's what we call the politics server, and mainly, and also the politics one, because those are where the unbelievers hang out, and a lot of Christians do too. And so I'll go in there and witness. That's what I do. So I'm looking at it right now. The servers as I'm in there checking it out and copying the stuff and writing it and updating the file on the website as we're talking. I'm doing it, modifying it. All right, so that in just a minute or less it'll be ready.
All right. So on a whim, do you go to the social site first and say, okay, I feel like going over to this particular server, and you update that there so that we can track you that way?
So what I'll do is, just depending on the mood, I'll go to Clubhouse, but Clubhouse is more like the Wild West, and Discord is more like the 60s. Okay. So, and I will go, if I want to have good, serious teaching time, I'll go into Discord. And there are people there because they have a rule about public figures. And public figures have certain rights. I didn't set this up. I didn't even know about this. They just told me this. So they go, Matt, you're a public figure, so blah, blah, blah. And so if I go into a room, then generally I end up being the one who does most of the talking, because people want to line up and ask me questions. And that's generally how it happens, generally, but not always. Okay. Okay.
The atheist groups would seem to be pretty interesting as well.
Oh, yeah. I love talking to atheists. I do. I enjoy talking to them. I try and show them problems. I was talking to one. So what I'll often do is go on Discord on my phone, and I have a headset and I walk around the block, and I'll do 4, sometimes 5 miles, and I'll just have discussions while I'm walking. And so I do everything from memory at that point. It's pretty tough. But and then I'll, like I was on 3-4 days ago when I was walking, I did 4 miles, and I was talking to an atheist, and he said, you want to talk to you about something? I said, look, if you do, here's the problems you're going to run into. I'm telling him ahead of time. This is what you got to watch out for. And so, it's what it is. Okay.
About a month ago, you were talking to a fellow who had brought up about 16th century the races, and you ended up hanging up on him. But you're not understanding him, but he was saying that man was man, and it wasn't until the 16th, 17th century that races were, the segregation of races is what he was getting at. That racism, I don't know how to explain it, but that you're this race or that race becomes a problem.
I understand what you're saying, but I remember that conversation. I remember how difficult it was to understand him. Sometimes people will say things and I don't understand. And this is, I'm not here to make excuses, but, I let people know, I have Asperger's, and this has happened before where that issue has gotten in the way of things. And sometimes it doesn't happen hardly at all anymore. But my wife and I'll be out talking with somebody, and every now and then I'll just turn to her and say, what did he say? Because I don't understand the logic and the phraseology of some sentences. particularly when you use a lot of pronouns. I get lost. Just me, and so it's certainly possible I had that problem with him, but I remember that getting frustrated with him. He wasn't able to articulate what the position was, and I remember that. So, okay.
Yeah, he kept on going back, and he didn't understand it. You didn't hear him, and that's the other thing with your hearing, like me.
Yeah.
It drops out. You miss that phrase, and he's not going back or letting you start over again.
Yeah.
He had a good point. I would have loved to hear him complete, or if he's listening, to call back in.
Are you clicking something in the background there?
Oh, wow. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got picked up.
Okay.
I tend to fiddle.
Yeah.
So that was a.
So you want to hear him respond? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There's it.
So that was it.
Okay. Well, good.
So hopefully I can find you. I'm curious about that and track you down and listen to how you talk to other people. Like I said, starting out on that witnessing point, I actually last week when I was down in Charleston needed to get dinner on Sunday night, and it was like getting late, and I was at one of the corner bars at the hotel, and was actually witnessing to the bartender, the kid, who is his mother was Mormon. He's not. Believes in Jesus, realizes that they're two different Christs, and it was very interesting. Thank you very much for the conversation. They learned a lot, and
good. Well, good.
It's fun.
Well, good. I like that. And you know what? I remember because we talked about the AI stuff the other day, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, now I'm trying to resurrect something, and I need something that I can put text into, and it'll just read me the voice. I don't need it to have video, and it needs to be different voices. So I don't know if there's something out there that can do that. I'm trying to research it and find out, because I want to do a couple projects here for radio. And so anyway, if you know something, let me know. I looked for a half hour today.
Yeah, I'll do that. I think I've run into one of those, and I also just when I was on the side looked up. There's a text to American Sign Language as well.
Wow.
So
well, the problem is
the two working together.
The problem is those things cost money, and we don't have the funds to put towards that kind of a thing. Yeah.
Hoping that I can help out some with that in the near future.
Yeah, well, it'd be worth looking into. Maybe we could do a project where we raise the funds to buy enough of the credits in that one system. Which, man, it really is good. It really is. It is so good that if we could get my avatar and my voice up there, it's really very good. I would just use that all the time. But we would basically, it would cost $200 a month. And how much I would be using? That's a problem. So. That's okay.
Well, I'm hoping that I got one of those things that I can be able to be the sponsor over the next couple of months. So let's keep that in the side pocket, and maybe what I can do is start looking for other people to help out in that way, and just have those little plans for projects.
Well, it sounds good. It sounds good. It is worth it. And then I could convert a lot of articles to video and put the videos inside those articles as well. And it takes a lot of work to set up video, audio, lighting, and to edit, and background has to be right. Frame has to be right. It's a lot of work.
Right.
And I had to do it all myself. So it would be, if I get that system you're talking about, get it to be good. And I mean, it's like 95% good. That's how good it is. It's really good. Then I would just say, hey, we just go to that, and do stuff. I got 1 minute things I want to do, and it just takes so much work. It takes a lot of work, but we'll figure it out. All right.
And this you would just because in the 1 minute video you're going to have a footer and a header and a
Right.
footer, basically. That you know you don't want to put that in that time frame. You could just get the software that appends the
Yeah.
beginning and the end.
See, once I had a rendered video, let's say we had a text and it was so many words and it was 50 seconds long, and we have it do it, and the avatar of me speaking it does it, and it's really good. We have a good background, everything done. Then I take it, I put it into my Vegas 365 program, and then I just cause it to hear the audio and render it out, and it works. It's great, So then I can do other stuff. Then I can put the intro and the outro on, and then I can render the whole thing together, and there it goes. Okay, it's doable.
Yep.
Yeah, just trying to make it efficient. Whew. But boy, is it a lot of work.
Helping hand.
Yes, that's right. And we certainly need a lot of helping
I
hands.
keep you up all night when you were looking at that. That's why you're yawning.
No, what happened was a guy called last night, and I recognized the name, but I didn't recognize the name at the same time, and he called twice. And I finally picked up, going, I think I know, and it was like midnight, and because I usually go to bed at 2. And so we had a discussion for about an hour with a guy, a 3-way conversation. It was in a cult. So I was talking to this guy. Well, that amped me up a little bit. And then I watched a video and then got to bed to sleep like 3:30, 3:45. That's just my life. It's what it is. But there's the music, buddy. Okay? Keep in contact, man.
Yep.
All right.
I love your passion. Take care.
All right. Hey, thanks, brother.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Hey, there you go. Well, there's the music, folks. I hope everybody had a good time listening. And by His grace, back on there tomorrow. And we'll talk to you then. God bless. All right, you should be able to hear me in Clubhouse now. So let me do that there. All right. Now what I got to do is correct this over here. And there. All right, everybody should be able to hear me now. How you all doing? Charlie, can you hear me, Charlie? Charlie? Okay, let's see. Something's not right. Audio. Oh, man, I did it again. There's so many things to select. Okay, now can you hear me, Charlie? All right, yeah. Man.
Gotcha.
All right. And it should be okay in Clubhouse. Let me just verify, because it's easy to make mistakes doing this. Good. Yep. It works. All right. All right. Good. So what he was talking about, for those who don't know, is the work that I have to do to get a 1-minute video going is a lot. And one of the hardest things is to do the video work, because you have to say it in one shot right. That means you have, you got to do all the inclination. You can't mess up. You have to convert the text, or I have to convert the text to a teleprompter. I have to put the teleprompter in the right place. I have to have a certain kind of teleprompter that is voice activated. So when I'm standing in position, when I start talking, it works. And it works about 80% of the time really well. And then sometimes I'll start speaking and it waits, and then it jumps up 3, 4, and then I miss the words. I have to go behind the camera, turn it off, reset the teleprompter, and then turn the camera back on, and then come in and then try it again. Sometimes it's taken 3 or 4 times just to get it to work right. And then I could be in 15 seconds and mess up. Well, then I got to start the whole thing over again. And it's like this over and over again. And it really, really is problematic. It would and so if we could get the AI, this guy showed it to me yesterday, and I've seen it before, and it wasn't very good. But man, is it good now? It's like a dollar a minute is what it costs. I think is what it came out to, $1 a minute of production to have all that stuff that it does. Well, if I do 1 minute video, if I do 10, that's $10. Well, you can buy a plan, and that's 1 month. Well, I can do all that in 1 day. So that's why it becomes cost prohibitive to do it. So then they have different plans, and then you get to $200 a month. Now, if we had someone sponsoring us at $200 a month, and I could do 200 minutes a month, oh, that would be the way to do it. It would be. But Ernie asked, how about just 9x16? Yeah, it would definitely save the time. But it would. But I want to be able to have them on landscape as well as mobile. That's just it. I want them both because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do them both. We could just do 9x16 the mobile and put it up on the. That's an idea. Is put it up on the website as an embedded file that's just 9x16. It's a possibility. It would cut down the work. It would cut down the work not by half, but about 40%, a third to 40%, I'd say. Okay. Yeah, it would still work. I should take one of those and see if I can do a test embed to see how it would do if the text wrapped. That wouldn't be a bad idea to do just 9x16 on something. That's not a bad idea. I'm going to look into that. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to check on something right now and see how that would look. Let's see. I'm going to do this. Get me curious, Ernie. It's a good suggestion. It might be a way to solve the problems. Let's see. Or, well, reduce it, let's just say. So how about, let's see. How about this? And we got rendered. So what I'm going to do is take a rendered video. And that, a rendered video 9x16. And what I'm going to do is find a file to put it in. I think I'm going to do that. Let's see. What would be a good article to put it in? Let's see. How about I'll do apologetics and then apologetics. And I'll do an introduction to apologetics. I'm going to get that article. I've already got a graphic in there. I don't want to mess that up. So let's see what doesn't. Let's see. Are you an apologist? Okay, let's see. Oh, we have to have graphics in all of them. So that's why. So let's see. Okay, that has that. Oh, man, I got to find the right article. Then I'll tell you which one I'm going to use. So I can put this in there and see. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Oh, I see what happened. All right, let's see. Man, I may have to make I know what I'm going to do. Make a test. Just make a test post. Go do a search. I have test posts up there. I'll find one. Do a search. Sorry it's taking a while, but that's just what happens. List of articles. Because I want to find out how the text will wrap around it. So interesting. Let's see. well, here's a draft. I'll edit this. You got me. You blame Ernie for this. What I'm going to do is just repeat a paragraph. And this is test, and the URL will be test01, saved draft. We're almost there. Okay, so the test, I'll put the URL. So it's carm.org/CARM/test01, but it's not released yet, not published yet. You can go there and nothing will be found. But what I'm doing right now is putting up I'm uploading a file right now, and I'll put it in place, and I'll hit publish, and then everybody can go check it out. All right. So I'll put the URL in. It'll be carm.org, CARM. It'll be test01. It'll be like that. So, okay. So you can go there, and it'll be there. Oh, it doesn't like the, okay, whatever. And I'll put that in here, and it's still loading the file. So we got to hold on a sec. There it goes. Now insert. Oh, that's weird. Oh, wow. That's a problem. Oh, yeah. There's always problems. Sorry, folks. Update. What I need to do is now I can do another problem here. Let's see. Okay, height. Okay. All right. So let me just publish it. Let's see how it looks. I probably have to redefine the height, width, length of it. You can check it out now. You can load it and see what it looks like. You can see it's way too big. All right. Yeah, way too big. All right. So I'm going to do an Excel trick. All right. So it's 9 by 16. So what would be, let's see, instead of that, let's try 300. That would be X equals 300 times 16 divided by 9, I believe. 533. Okay, so 300 by 500. 533. Let's try this. Okay, so the width will be 300 and the height will be 533. Yeah, this is how I work. This is what happens. So now refresh the screen and see what happens. It's still too big. See, we run into problems. There's always a problem. Always a problem. And it drives me crazy. So now I got to do this. I hate this. Now I got to write HTML table. And also watch. Oh, I know what I'll do. Okay, this is boring. Everybody probably is. This is a good example of something I have to do. Get an idea like this, and I'll work through it. So I have to open up another program, do an HTML thing, and do some stuff here. So, and hold on, and pixels, come on. Let's try width in pixels, not percent. So let's go, width is 300. All right, and height, I'll say is, pixels is 533. Let's see what that says. I'll do that way. Then I have to copy this over here for this code. And then this for that code. And then do this. Ah, now that works. Now, and then update that and take a look at that. Then it's narrower, it's smaller. Let's see if it does transmit that way. But now what I got to do is find out how to have the text wrap around and then do other stuff. Oh, yeah. This is what happens. So size, border. This might be a good solution though for something. Let's try this. Let's see. And table properties. I wonder how I get it to wrap. How do I get that to wrap? Alignment, default. I'm going to go right. Apply. Float right. Now I'm going to change that. Come into here. Go into the text. Modify the HTML opening tag for the. Hey, it looks like it's working. Okay. Now, refresh. Oh, you slime ball. It didn't do it. Let's see. At least for me. Let's see. Try it again to refresh.
I gotta go, Matt.
There it goes. It worked. You see? It worked. Got it to work. Do you guys see it? That's not a bad idea.
Give me a link and I'll look at it.
Yeah, but it's the sound isn't working. Oh, because it's, wait a minute. Is it because it's got to go here? Let me see.
What?
Yep, that's it. So the sound is working. Good. Here, let me show you the, it's here. All right, for everybody, it's here. Here. I refresh your browser and stuff, and it's here. I'll put it in private. Okay. There. That's not a bad idea. You know what? That's not a bad idea, Ernie. Instead of doing the whole bit, just do that. Okay. Now this is just a sample video, doesn't and a test page, etc. So this is Bibles Inspired. I just took some text. I just wanted to see if it would word wrap, and there you go. So give me some feedback, everybody. What do you think? I'm going to use the restroom, and then type out what you think. Okay, I'll be right back. I got to use the restroom. Oh, give me a minute. Whew, there we go. And there it again. Okay, what do you guys think? Yep, and I can upload everywhere. That was just fine. Yeah, that's just a test one. So guys, give me some feedback. What do you think? Do you like the look? I mean, I think it looks kind of good. That's just a test page with a test video, but that's how we could do it. Not bad. Okay. Wish I could see it. Joan. Well, just check it out on your. What would it look like on the phone? That's another issue. Hey, I'm gonna check it out on the phone. Okay. Sorry, folks. This is how we work sometimes, you know. So carm.org/CARM/test01. And then that looks like that. And then this. Come on, slime ball. Okay. Oh, you piece of. Oh, come on. Oh, man. You touch something wrong, and that's what it does. All right. That's good, though. Let me see. Okay. I have to check it out. I'll have to check it out. All right. That's interesting. I'm going to look into that possibility, see how it looks on phones. Matt, you've got open forum an hour and 45. That's true. I know. And looks perfect. So does it look perfect on, well, it does on the computer. No problem. That's definitely doable. So now what I need to do is find out what it looks like on the phone. So I'm going to get my phone and check it. I'm going to go. You guys bail. I'm going to be done here in 5 minutes anyway. All right, I'm back. I'm going to check this. Just curious. Test 01. And let's see how that looks. Ah, you slime ball. I typed it wrong. Man! Hit the wrong thing. There we go. Come on, get in there. You can do it. You slime ball. Man. Oh, come on, man. You know, it just things go, you piece of crap. Why aren't you doing it? Okay, let's try it again. I'm going to look on the phone and see how it looks on the phone. And this should be right here. And it goes that with that underneath it. So that's how it does it. It does the video first and then the stuff underneath. And that's perfectly fine as well. That's good. Yeah, I like it. Looks good. All right. Okay, well, I'm going to get going, okay? And I'll talk to you guys later. That was interesting. Why can't calculators be rational? All right. All right, I'm shutting it down then. I have to talk to the wife, check a couple things, relax, then do the shit in an hour and 40. All right. Talk to you guys later. God bless.